Okay, let's simplify this complex fraction. We have fractions inside of fractions. So before we can do that, we need to simplify the numerator and the denominator. The numerator is already simplified. It's a plus 7. So all we have to take care of is the denominator. All right, so a plus 7 over a squared minus a plus 7 over a minus 3. Different denominators, we have to make a common denominator so that we can do that subtraction problem. So the a plus 7 over a squared is missing the a minus 3 that the other fraction has. So we multiply by a minus 3 over a minus 3. And go ahead and put parentheses around everything so that you make sure to multiply. You have to multiply this a by both of these terms and the 7 by both of those terms. Then minus a plus 7 over a minus 3. And now this denominator is missing this a squared, so we multiply by a squared over a squared. So in the denominator we have a squared times a minus 3. Now in the numerator, before I multiply this out, I'm going to show you a plus 7 times a minus 3 minus a squared times a plus 7. So in the numerator, you'll notice something. We have both terms, this one and this one, both have the a plus 7 term. And if you remember when we factored by grouping, that means that we can factor that out. So we can leave the a plus 7 factored out here. You can multiply it out, but you'll lose that linear factor that you might be able to simplify later. So I'm going to do a plus 7, and then I'll have a minus 3 minus a squared in my other as my other factor. All of that over a squared times a minus 3. And running out of room, I'm going to go over here. So now that we've got the denominator simplified, we can go ahead and carry out the division that we were asked to do in the first place. So a plus 7 over 1. That's what the numerator is. It's just a plus 7. So there's no bottom of the fraction, so it's just 1. And then it's being divided by this down here. So if we want to multiply, that means we have to do the reciprocal. We need to put the denominator in the numerator. So a squared times a minus 3 over a plus 7 times negative a squared plus a minus 3. And now you can see the benefit of factoring out the a plus 7 rather than multiplying it out. And the only reason we could do that was because both of these fractions had the a plus 7 linear factor. So now a plus 7 divided by a plus 7 is 1, and we have a squared times a minus 3 over negative a squared plus a minus 3. Let me put number 6 on a different page, and then we'll do that one too. Alright, this one's going to be pretty quick. We do have a numerator that needs to be simplified. We have to do this addition before we can divide by 25, but they already have a common denominator, so that's handy. We have m plus 1 over 5 plus m squared over 5. So that equals m squared plus m plus 1 over 5. Now that fraction is being divided by 25 over 1. But we don't want it to be dividing, we want it to be multiplying, so we will multiply by the reciprocal, and we'll get m squared plus m plus 1, all of that over 5 times 25, So that's 125. And there's your answer. More to come later.